Hi, we have numerous activities that we're going to be adding from the YDP site. So this demo will show you how to go in and do the math curriculum, the lower primary math curriculum. So here we are at the same um, URL that we always go. We're going to go scroll down and we're going to go to lower primary curriculum. We're going to just click on that, and that's going to take us to a demo page. We're going to click on Visit Demo, and then we're going to see not only math, but science, language and communication, art and design, and a whole bunch of different subjects. It's for our language and communication here, that will go into our English courses. Art and design and music will go into our art and music courses. Geography and environmental protection will go into our courses that deal with the earth and with science and with anything relating to the planet. Um, these are going to be for kindergarten through fifth grade. So we will not be going past fifth grade with these lower primary curriculum resources. Social, emotions, and health, and road safety education, these two will be going into our health phys ed, and we've got 3 levels that are going to be appropriate: health phys ed 1, health phys ed 3, and health phys ed 5. And then Catholic religion, we'll be putting those into our Bible K through Bible 5 courses into the right module. And then the rest of these we probably will not be using. Okay, let's just, for an example, show you how to go to math. Under math, we have the main category, which is adding and subtracting numbers. First, we're going to create a module called adding and subtracting numbers. Let's go over to our Math 1 course, and we're going to search through the modules and see if we can find adding and subtracting numbers, which is very easy to find. So here on chapter 3, we've got addition 0 through 10 and subtraction 0 through 10. Now, as you can see, I've already created adding and subtracting numbers 0 through 10. And an interesting thing that I realized is very nice to do with any time that we're adding a new assignment underneath an existing assignment is we're going to just want to go over here and we're going to click indent. And that indents it just a little bit so that it looks visually like it's more underneath the assignments, and it will help the students to see their work in a more interesting and more understandable fashion. And I'm going to do that down here with these as well. I'm going to just click on indent, and that just gives me a little bit, and I'm going to do that twice, and that gives me a little bit of indent right there underneath the work. Okay, now what we're going to do next is we're going to now show you how to go back to our site. And the first lesson that we're going to take is called Numbers 0 and 1. And we're going to simply take numbers 0 and 1, which looks like this. And there's 8 different pages with activities. We're going to cut and paste the URL right up here. And we're going to take that back to our course. And oops, what was the name of that? That was called Numbers 0 and 1. We're going to create a module in there called numbers 0 to 1. Then we are going to, using this same box, and I realize that this is a little bit different than the way that we did the biology courses in the last video that I made. This is a slightly different way, and that's because of the way that this math course is set up. So we're going to take 0 to 10, and we already put the link in, so you can see this is going to take us to the first one. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add right in this module, we're going to go to the Edit button, and we're going to add the next lesson. So the next lesson is called number 2. And then basically under adding and subtracting numbers 0 to 10, this is going to be one module, and we're going to add all of these links all the way down to comparing numbers. Let me just show you how to do one, and then you'll just repeat that. So here we go. We're going to cut and paste it. As you can see, this is a different one than the one that we just did. And we are now going to take this URL, and this is going to be called numbers. Oops, once again, I forgot what it was called. So we're going to have to go back, and it's called number 2. Okay, simple. We're going to put in there number 2, and we're going to underline that. We're going to put in our link, and we're going to insert the link and save our work, and then we're going to check it. And there we have the second one that's another series of excellent activities for the students. And basically you're going to go all the way down the list, all the way, I believe, down to comparing numbers 0 to 10. Then the next one is called adding and subtracting numbers 0 to 50, 0 to 100, 0 to 1,000, and then multiplication, division, and fractions. And we're going to create modules that are going to have all of these within them. So that is basically, I think, all that you need to know about how to add the mathematics. Let's go to science and see. Science is set up the same way, only because this is dealing with different topics. So here we have weathering and erosion. Then we have characteristics of minerals and rocks. And we have space technology. Because these are different topics, we will not be putting all of these into the same module. We will be matching weathering and erosion, for example, with the exact right module. So I mentioned that even though it says earth science here, these resources are only for kindergarten through 5th grade. So we will not be adding these to earth science. We will be adding these to science K through 5. And that's where I'm going to pull up my scope and sequence, and I'm going to search for which course in science K to 5 we talk about weathering and erosion. And I'm going to put this resource exactly in the right module. And that's very simple. What we've been doing before is simply cutting and pasting it and then naming it or weathering and erosion, naming it characteristics of minerals and rocks. These will be what we will name the different modules that we're creating. So here we're going to ignore where it says earth science, life science, physical science. Normally, you would think that would go to our earth science, life, and physical science courses. But no, not in this case. In this case, this is lower primary, which means it is kindergarten through 5. So even though it says physical science, we will not be putting physical properties and changes into our physical science course. We will be putting that into probably our Science 5. And that's just because I happen to know that Science 5 is the course that contains most of the things that relate to physical science. So this would be put into physical properties and changes. Let's just go to Science 5 and verify that I was correct. So let's go to Science 5. LBG, always. And we're looking for properties of okay, this also has quite a bit about cells, weather, exploration, navigation, human body. I think it's okay. Here we get down to some chemistry, ocean. Molecules. Okay. Molecules and atoms. I'm just searching. Now, it would be a lot easier if I would just pull out my scope and sequence, and that way I could match it more easily. But I think I'm going to put this module under molecules. I think that makes the most sense. So let's go back. Physical properties and changes. And we're going to grab the URL from right up here, and we're just going to add that right here. I'm not going to take your time to do that because I think you know how to do this by now. And let's move on. So you're going to go through this entire list all the way, and you're going to add these to the correct module. Okay, next is language and communication. Once again, you are going to add these resources to the right module. So in English kindergarten, we review all of the letters. So let's first look at the letter A. We're going to go to A, and we're going to grab this, cut and paste it. Then I'm not even going to wait for it to load. We're going to go to English, K, and we're going to look for our letter A. And we scroll down. Letter A is first, so we're going to simply add a new resource right there on the letter A, and we're going to indent it. And that is basically how you are going to do this new assignment from YDP. This is how you're going to go through all of these and find the proper match and then add it to the course. Thank you and have fun.